So now we talk about the membership process and online exam delivery. So the first is that you have to make sure that you are an ACFE member. So you have to give an annual fee of about $295. And then you have to apply for your CFE candidature via the ACFE portal and complete the 40-point eligibility worksheet. Then you have to book each exam window from your ACFE candidate dashboard. And these each four sections can be taken separately. So in the fourth step is study with INSEC. You have to complete INSEC section by section program, one-to-one mentorship as well as a full mock bank. And then you have to pass and apply. Only after you have received your credentials will you have to pay INSEC for your training. So what can you expect from an online exam? So the first is obviously you can sit at the comfort of your home and give the exam at any time and any place. It is fully computer based, so you get your results immediately. There is also a ACFE fraud manual that is open on screens and therefore it is an open book exam. But you have to make sure that you have a minimum 1 Mbps of internet. So you should have fast and stable internet. And you should also make sure that you do not have any other tabs open in your PC as it is proctored. The exam is proctored very heavily. Uh, you can also retake all the failed sections in case you have failed one or two sections of the exam. You can retake them. You won't have to take the entire exam once again. And there is no exam window for it. You can sit whenever you feel like you're prepared enough for each section. Now we talk about what will your CFE roadmap be in case you decide to enroll with INSEC. So the first is eligibility and ACFE joining. So INSEC reviews your 40-point profile and you have to join ACFE and you have to register as a CFE candidate, and then you have to schedule the exam as possible for you. And then you have to have the financial tax transactions part. This is the first section, and the target is to get 80% plus using INSEC's manual as well as INSEC's mock questions. The second part is also the largest concept coverage, so you have to make sure that you have to start first. This is the fraud prevention section. The second section, which is criminal law, civil law, and other litigation related laws, is the most memory intensive. So you have to make sure that you keep revising it again and again. All of this roadmap will be again and again hammered into your head by the mentors. So mentors will be very helpful. And the lastly, it is the section 3, which is investigation. This includes interviewing, digital forensics, report writing, and it is most practical and situation based. So you have to make sure that you study real cases, which will be provided to you in the mock tests in the study material given to you by INSEC. Then you have to prepare using the mock exams which INSEC provides, and then you have to submit your CFE application. Start by 20 CAP per year and use INSEC salary negotiation coaching to make sure that you are able to negotiate and get your first salary upgrade or raise. Now we talk about maintaining CFE and a day in the life of a fraud examiner. So the renewal cycle of CFE is 1 year. So your certification is mostly valid for only 1 year, and you need 20 hours per year and minimum 10 topics of CPE. So in order to renew, and the annual renewal of this is $295 US. The ethics and annual ACFE code of ethics compliance should also be there. Uh, what is a SCP certified day in practice? So first you have to start with fraud interview planning, followed by transactional data analysis, regulatory reporting, legal coordination, as well as board fraud risk report.